How Apple sells you the same phone every year. Apple hasn't been selling phones. They've been selling feelings. And once you see how, you can't unsee it. Every year, Apple releases a new iPhone. There's a new keynote, new advertisements, and a familiar wave of excitement. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't upgrade because they need to. They upgrade because Apple makes the old phone feel outdated. Not broken, not unusable, just psychologically old. Apple rarely introduces dramatic changes. Instead, they make small, carefully calculated upgrades. Just enough to create desire, but not enough to destroy satisfaction. This creates what can be called perceived innovation. Your phone still works perfectly fine, but suddenly it feels one step behind. Apple doesn't rush this feeling. They design it. Apple never directly tells you that your phone is obsolete. Instead, they present the new model as slightly better. A brighter screen, a marginally faster chip, a camera feature you didn't ask for, but now can't ignore. This creates a comparison trap. Your brain stops asking whether your phone still works and starts asking why your phone is no longer the best. The timing is intentional. Contracts expire. Trade-in offers appear. Friends and coworkers begin upgrading. Suddenly, upgrading feels logical, even responsible. Apple never forces you to upgrade. They make not upgrading feel irrational. Listen carefully to how Apple presents each new feature. They never say, "We added." They say, "We reimagined." They never say, "Better." They say, "The best we've ever created." This linguistic precision transforms incremental improvements into revolutionary breakthroughs. A camera that's 5% better becomes a leap forward in mobile photography. The keynote presentations follow a ritual. The darkened stage, the carefully rehearsed pauses, the graphs that always point upward. Every element is choreographed to create a feeling of witnessing history, even when the changes are minimal. This transforms product announcements into cultural events. Missing the keynote means missing out on a shared experience. Apple doesn't sell features. They sell identity. Owning the latest iPhone quietly signals that you're modern, informed, and successful. That's why the design changes are minimal but noticeable. A camera bump, a color shift, a subtle shape change, just enough to be recognized. This isn't accidental. It's social signaling. Your phone becomes a silent status symbol, one that only insiders really notice. Apple understands that people don't want to be early adopters forever. They just don't want to feel left behind. But there's a deeper layer to this identity game. Apple has created tribes within tribes. There are iPhone users, and then there are people with the latest iPhone. There are people who upgrade every year and those who wait. Each group has its own identity, its own justification. Apple serves them all without alienating anyone. The person with an iPhone 11 still feels part of the Apple family, just not quite at the front of the line. This creates aspiration without exclusion. You're never kicked out of the club, but there's always a VIP section you could join. Here's where Apple's strategy becomes truly brilliant. The iPhone isn't just a phone. It's the center of an entire ecosystem. Your AirPods work seamlessly with it. Your Apple Watch depends on it. Your MacBook syncs with it. Your iPad shares files with it. iMessage keeps you connected to other iPhone users in a way that makes switching feel like social isolation. This ecosystem creates switching costs that go far beyond money. Leaving iPhone means leaving behind years of purchased apps, accumulated accessories, and established workflows. It means telling your iMessage groups that your texts will now be green bubbles. It means learning new interfaces, losing seamless integration, and starting over. Apple doesn't trap you with contracts. They trap you with convenience. And that's a prison most people never want to escape. Software completes the cycle. Your phone doesn't suddenly fail, but each new software update is designed around newer hardware. Interfaces evolve. Features expand. Small frictions appear. Nothing dramatic. Just enough discomfort to make the device feel slightly off. Apple calls this progress. Your brain calls it inconvenience. Support is never removed abruptly. Instead, discomfort accumulates slowly over time. Eventually, the phone doesn't feel wrong, but it doesn't feel right either. And that's the moment Apple is waiting for. The genius is in the subtlety. Your 3-year-old iPhone still receives updates, which makes Apple look generous. But those updates are optimized for newer processors. Apps are designed for larger screens. New features require newer chips. The phone works, but it works just slightly worse each year. Battery life becomes unpredictable. Apps take a second longer to open. The camera doesn't quite keep up anymore. Apple never admits this is by design. They call it supporting older devices. But the effect is the same. Your phone becomes a reminder of what you're missing, not a celebration of what you have. What makes this strategy so effective is that it doesn't feel like manipulation. Apple doesn't pressure customers. There are no aggressive discounts, no urgency-driven messaging. They wait. The decision feels entirely yours. This preserves trust. You feel in control, even though the system guided you every step of the way. Apple presents you with options. Keep your current phone. Trade it in. Upgrade. But they've carefully structured these options so that one always feels most rational. The trade-in value is highest right after a new release. The monthly payment plans make the cost feel manageable. The environmental messaging makes upgrading feel responsible, not wasteful. You're given a choice, but the path of least resistance has been carefully paved. That's why Apple customers are loyal. Not because they're trapped, but because they feel respected. Every upgrade feels safe. Every purchase feels justified. Walk into an Apple store and notice what you feel. The lighting is warm but energizing. The tables are uncluttered. The products are displayed like art in a gallery. Employees don't wear suits, they wear casual blue shirts. They're called specialists and geniuses, never salespeople. Everything is designed to make you feel welcome, not pressured. You can touch any device. You can stay as long as you want. No one asks if you're going to buy. This creates psychological reciprocity. Apple gives you a premium experience for free, and unconsciously, you want to return the favor. The Genius Bar reinforces this relationship. When your phone has problems, Apple fixes it in their beautiful store with their knowledgeable staff, using their proprietary tools. This reminds you that Apple isn't just a product, it's a service. It's support. It's a relationship. And when it's time to upgrade, where do you go? Back to the store that's always treated you well. Apple has mastered the art of anticipation. They announce products months before release. Leaks and rumors circulate for even longer. By the time the iPhone launches, you've been thinking about it for half a year. You've watched reviewers test it. You've seen ads. You've discussed it with friends. This extended anticipation period does two things. First, it keeps Apple in the conversation year-round. There's always a new iPhone on the horizon. Second, it transforms the purchase from an impulse into a considered decision. You've had time to justify it to yourself. By launch day, buying feels inevitable. The scarcity at launch reinforces this. Limited stock, shipping delays, waiting lists. These aren't accidents. They create urgency and social proof. If everyone wants it, it must be worth having. If it's hard to get, it must be valuable. Apple positions itself as an environmental leader. They talk about recycled materials, carbon neutrality, and removing chargers from boxes to reduce waste. This messaging is brilliant because it addresses the guilt many people feel about frequent upgrades. But here's the paradox. The most environmentally friendly choice is to keep your current phone. Yet Apple's entire business model depends on you not doing that. So they've reframed upgrading as responsible. Trade-in programs keep old phones out of landfills. Recycling initiatives make you feel good about replacement. Efficiency improvements mean the new phone uses less energy. The message is clear. Upgrading isn't wasteful, it's conscientious. This resolves the cognitive dissonance and removes a barrier to purchase. Apple's real product isn't the iPhone. It's certainty. Certainty that the product will work, that it won't embarrass you, and that you won't regret buying it. Apple doesn't upgrade hardware every year. They upgrade expectations. In a world of overwhelming choice and constant change, Apple offers stability. Their products look similar year after year. Their stores feel the same. Their interface is familiar. This consistency is valuable in itself. You know what you're getting. There are no surprises, no disappointments, no buyer's remorse. Apple has become a safe choice for individuals, for businesses, for schools. This safety is worth a premium. It's why people pay more for iPhones than comparable Android devices. They're not just buying better hardware, they're buying peace of mind. That's how Apple sells you the same phone year after year without resistance. Not through pressure, but through psychology. Not through innovation, but through perception. Not through force, but through feeling. They've built a system where upgrading feels natural, where keeping your old phone feels outdated, and where every purchase feels justified. They've transformed a technology product into a lifestyle, a status symbol into a personal choice, and a business transaction into a relationship. And once you understand this, you'll never look at new products the same way again. You'll see the patterns. You'll recognize the strategies. You'll understand that Apple isn't just selling phones. They're selling a carefully crafted experience that makes you want to stay in their world year after year, upgrade after upgrade. And the most impressive part? Even knowing all of this, it still works. Because Apple hasn't just mastered marketing. They've mastered human psychology itself.